Hello, and welcome to The Wake. This is a 1v1 tourney, brought to you by me, Brian. We have our final 2 debuts today, that is much more exciting than I make it sound. Kash and Adlantik are here to test their 1v1 ability, and will be aiming to reach the shortest path through the groups. The winner today will progress to face apparently Jack in a finals qualifier, and the loser drops down to the lower bracket. How are you enjoying the tourney so far? Feedback is always welcomed. Speaking of feedback, here's Danny, whose mic is echo-free.
Well, Brian, we're back here again in the old rusty field, urban centre. It's hosted some magical moments through its years. But we have 2 competitors. One who is on the verge of maybe making the RLRs, and frankly, an unknown quantity. Adlantik shipping it around, but it is Kash on that awkward turtles. The Echo Zulu roster no more. So Impact leaving that. It was Kash who got picked up. Happy to see he will have a chance potentially to make it with a duo of Mateen and Taz, but today it's just solely him. The limelight is here, ready, showing, and bang it goes. Fabulous little air dribble straight around. Good control, the defense will not be phased. DannyBoy was actually careful watching one of my streams earlier. Actually was 1v1 in Adlantik a couple of days ago. Well, at least in terms of this recording. In Adlantik, it's a fierce competitor. He has very much a stickling type of play style. Sadly, my old Serpent Season 1 type of gameplay. No match for the youngster. The blonde bombshell that is Adlantik is ready to at least get some type of offense going, but he has been on defense throughout. That was a good save. Let's hope the transition can be a bit more cleaner, and again, its flicks are not at all useful. At least in this early phase of play, and he's just been outread. When your flicks are absolutely useless, you're able to get fit deep and straight in. But well done to Kash. He's willing to take the advantage of a weak opponent, slightly wounded. Well, mentally for the time being. With 3 minutes still on that clock, we could be looking maybe one of the score lines will be double digits. Seen that slightly before. Doesn't happen that often, but when it does, you know it's a roller coaster of pure adrenaline. But so far, Kash has been doing well. He's dictated the main set of boosts, and when he has attacked, they're clean, crisp opportunities. There's no real risk into them. When he has this little pop, bounce at the corner, and Adlantik playing too aggressive. Realistically needs to sit back, absorb a bit of pressure, then hit him. Hit Kash on the counter. It sounds like a plan, but a decent kickoff. It's on the right side of him. He should get a kickoff goal. That will settle the nerves. First goal, and for him, at least in a 1v1 tournament. Slightly unusual for him. He actually played in the German qualifier. Adlantik, he actually done quite well on it. Just fell slightly short from making into the finals, actually at the LAN appearance, but it's Kash who is really dictating. This is the experience, who is so used to just showing off when he can, and when you have a flick to that side, it's so simple where it's going to go. You have a whole net to aim for effectively. Atlantik, another kick-off that's actually worked well. He will have the boost. It's just now angling himself. The hook shot will be the favourite, and he's trying to fake it to the near post. It's a fabulous attempt. But Kash is not going to be read too easily, and Kash is just going to stick these goals, and they're going to be comfortable ones at that too. He's made that look simple, and it was. With 2 minutes and 15. It is a benchmark for both of them. Just settle the nerves. That's what all of them will be trying to do in the group stages. Release their opening match, and Kash finding his feet much quicker. Adlantik aggressively attacking. He's waiting. He's seen to calculate the boost respawn time perfectly on point. And again, when your flicks are not good enough, you really have very little options, especially in ones. If you actually try to hook it, maybe a few backboard shots just to tease and tantalize, try to bring Kash out and steal the boost on the siege, that can give you a few options. Adlantik still trying to get his flick sorted, with this game effectively being dead. Don't see him getting 4 goals, but that's what he's been tasked to do. Now that's been the most better flick so far. Slacking the speed into his shots, that's why it was so high, especially on the pop. Decent block this time around, just can he recover? And a quick shot by Kash would have been better faking in that scenario, and the transition straight into the goal. 5-2. This is much better. At least from Atlantik's sake, it will just be a case, can he bring that experience into it? Both of them are English. Of course, Atlantik has some Irish heritage as well. He's been in a few Rocket League Ireland tournaments. Slightly went off the radar. Always a decent player. But we have not seen any bit of class from him just yet. Again, Kash's little skips on that attempt just tested the keeper, and Kash has actually gone so far back. I've actually seen Kash play OSM casted that match a long time ago when fellow Irish player Mug was in his one series. Actually made a very decent showing for himself in that. And OSM, not a pushover. As many of you rightly know, he can go on and beat the very best at the top of that one ladder. But it is Kash with the air dribble. Atlantik will only have one chance at this. Reads it well. And it will be an attempt on target. And so far this opening game, been much of a very topsy-turvy in terms of the stability of Atlantik. It really is flattering that it's only 5-3. Could have easily been 5-1 against them. With 5 seconds left. Kash has done well. But can he do better? Can he go for the sweep? Or will we have potentially, maybe, the reverse sweep? Well, Brian, I'll leave that one up to you. Is it going to happen?
Personally, Danny, I prefer to see a reverse sweep over a sweep any day. I'd settle for any game 5 though.
Game 2. After Brian has crunched all the numbers up. Clever cookie is. But who will be finding the crumbs in this game? Trying to piece it together and maybe surprise us. Atlantik had the chance. Kash with the decent clearance, and back and forth is still Atlantik still suffering the inability of trying to flick, and it will cost him in the series. We saw how potent Kash's ability was on the offense. Wasn't anything threatening in terms of some of the abilities of earlier in the group stages. For both these two players in question, it is their opening match. And it will be Kash again taking advantage of the experience, and that's such a poor attempt. This should be scored, this should be buried. Oh, I'm not happy. This was okay until this moment here. Yes, it's went in. Yes, it goes in favour of form. But I can easily volley it straight on target. That tells me he's not confident in any form of his ability at the moment. There's beaten Kash and there's not feeling good too. He said he actually felt scared running into this one. I can understand why too. What a read by Kash. Goodbye, farewell. Your dignity might not be intact. Good response. So suddenly Kash, he's on the kickoff to a certain degree, at least on the up front. He will have possession and boost, so he will be happy that he's got that for his corner. Now Kash, well, players have the inability now of flicking. Must be contagious. Or is really the wrong idea by Kash. And they try to force it on target to get some kind of action onto the ball or bring it further wide and seal the boost and keep on the pressure that way. So Kash is just willing to play directly centre. There's nothing wrong with it normally. But a decent defence is able to break it apart, and Kash, good response. Didn't go for a boost. Seen plenty of players, no matter what their achievements go for. So he is concentrating, that's good to see, and that's not. He says, nice one. No offence to him. I've been good friends with Adlantik for a long time, but I've seen Silvers bury that one on target. He will now at least have some redemption of scoring this one. Rightly, Kash just went for the boost. He didn't in fact really account for what could have occurred. To be for half the game with only 3 goals is an improvement. But how much will that missed shot account for in terms of the play? Decent read by Kash. Adlantik never enough probably. Had Kash presuming that he had the save and buckled out of that one. Good flick, and again it hits the crossbar. These shots are also maybes. Hopefully it will improve throughout the rest of this tournament. But Adlantik brings that one across. It's a good attempt for a clearance. That bump's actually done well enough. Lose a recovery to actually fully situate. No boost. It's actually wasteful in terms of possession. Needs to hold it tight to have any chance of keeping that one. And frankly, due to Kash's rush stability into that play, didn't work out well. But this time, Adlantik diving straight at the keeper. No boost. I think he may have actually tried to steal the boost pad there too. Trying to steal for position, not necessarily wise. Some would go for the in and out save from the net. But the problem with that, it does not cover all of it. Both these players are aware of that. And Adlantik is unaware of where to keep himself standing, because that was absolutely shocking. The moment he went straight down, Kash knew he just had to wait and stick this on target. Any pace above around about 50, maybe 60 kph, it would have been definitely in. 69 is a dead cert. And Adlantik now needs to put a bit more pressure on now. He will find himself going 2-0 against Kash, and that's not a scenario you want to be. Could be a very simple performance by Kash. Talk about the basics of the game, know when to challenge, know when to shoot, and know when to know when you are beaten. Adlantik, at the moment, sensing at least one of those qualities in the players that you want to know. He is not rolling over. Kash actually winning the kickoff quite firmly on that left-hand side. We'll risk at least an attempt on target. Now this is only a risk by doing that. You've actually allowed a free attempt by Adlantik, presuming that he's going to go full throttle and make sure that it is a match against speed, and when you have the boost on the inside lane, Adlantik will have the advantage there. It's a decent little pop-up there. Now Adlantik, that's a mistake. That's the second one there. He needs to actually get the ball slightly hindered and hinged in one spot. An anchor point to hold on to that. Now lost it. This will be either shot or in a fake, and Kash actually gone for at least both of those options in his head and sadly rectify himself with now in a defensive duty with clock actually now on its favour. Adlantik very generously gifting him a chance, maybe a second here if he Kash keeps it up. This could go. This could definitely go, and that's a mistake. Oh, I've seen Kash put that in threes before. I've seen him do it in twos. I've seen him doing it in ones. Why, of all moments, that he had to drop it there? It's a free OT for Adlantik. It's a second chance. A second chance. That's all that he has now. Both in terms of the series in this very particular game, and Adlantik has just done something marvellous. There's been a defensive work he could have easily conceded there. Very difficult, but he gets away with this one. And Kash been muddled. He's just lost out 4-3. And no GG's coming out. Well, Brian, is that a sign of the tilt? Or just a man concentrating harder than normal? I'll leave that one up to you.
No GG's, and we have to assume Kash is focusing his energy on brain expansion. If you want to expand my brain, contribute to the prize pools for the channel.
Ah, you've come back. So is the players. It's game 3 in this best of 5. Adlantik, that OT that you just saw, scraping away, and now finally a bit of pressure being exerted upon Kash's net. Stacked to the backboard, and now the whip on the second phase of play. There's only one outcome. Telling our audio viewers, you've just heard the goal explosion pop off in favour of Kash. After that, very little analysis required. Well, it'll be a moment whether Adlantik and Kash can now improve, and Kash slightly playing around in his kickoff. That is a man who's either feeling bold as brass. And those attempts into the musty. The breezy flicks, all those type of shots there only really works once you have pace into them. Any slower than that, you might as well just hand the ball back over, and somehow Kash Stum gets the possession after that, and what a fake! Kash? Oh my, Kash! He pulls out a fake, whips him down, and only just splurts onto the net. What an attempt! What a chance to live, and to Adlantik's head for nothing. That will now be mentally draining. Such a cruelty being dished out, and Kash is still going for it. He's got a 2-goal cushion. Can't necessarily blame him for trying to do it. Sometimes he hits goals for fun, but he also was playing in Nate's Cactus recently and lost in an OT game 7. Slightly due to showboating. And Adlantik is not doing that. Polar opposites, and they're just trying to battle each other. Now for progression in terms of the series now. They just want to make sure they're level. Don't leave anything sloppy. And this is just effectively a kick-off goal. It has just worked out such in favour to the young Englishman Kash. We'll be looking for now a moment where they'll be required to get back into it. Our fake kickoff. This is not ideal. This is very not ideal. Brings it all the way back, or brings it to the net, and practically, if he was going to try to bring it across, he should have done it much quicker than that. And Adlantik, well, I thought he missed that. The way that shot was going. You probably hear Atlantik's minds, his internal workings going, oh no, oh no, oh yes! The closer he was getting, the more likely the crossbar was coming into play. Had to get a faint touch, and the fact that his shots has been so weak from the flicks somewhat works out this time. That's what happens when you have a moment of pinpoint accuracy and a killer instinct. Straight down in the crossbar. Just teasing Kash for a second. Just put me in. That's what I was saying. And the ball was happily willing to do so. Should be 5-2. Simple as that. We're approaching effectively game 1 territory. Atlantik's playing far too aggressive for very little reward in these players. Only to scratch your head and going, why? It's not like Kash is playing mechanically better, just solid. Brings it up to the wall, but into the flip reset, that's obvious. Now the second one, straight on target, bang in the crossbar, rejects him. Will it be a second time? And he hits that fine, but it will do. There was a keeper on net, you can imagine, top right from that angle. Would have been the favourable choice. No keeper. Just roll it in. That's what you have to do in certain moments. That was the key point in the game. That goes 5-3. With half the game still go, that comeback certainly could be favourable in 7-2. Looks like a GG and maybe a quick forfeit into it. Not a complete unlikable chance of getting back into it. Just needs a bit of momentum swinging his way. This is just desperation, slipping in by the man. Started with A, ends with K. And sadly, in his case, it will be even an O. A-K-O, and oh dear. As Kash is slipping this little bit of a lead that he's built up. 2 minutes, 4 goals. Really is like on the ocean, shipwrecked. Looking for a dinghy or anything to hold on to just to stay afloat. And Kash doesn't need to, filled with hot air in that big giant balloon, and doesn't need any days to see the world. It's only one chance, one execution, and he's seen all the sights, seen all the world, and that. 8-3, and Adlantik will now be suffering a match point deficit if this keeps on with 1 minute 40 now. Kash will just be slowing the game rightly down. So in trying into this, he is just trying to style, he is just trying to show he is mechanically capable. And Adlantik has been baited into this sort of mental board that Kash has actually put up front of him. Yes, you know there's when you are beaten, at least in the game, but you should not be saying to your opponent, because this is now psychological warfare slipping on through. Just stick the goals in, Adlantik, and let Kash know you're at least within touching distance, even when the lead's that large. That's what sometimes you have to do in a best of 5. Sometimes even a best of 7, you can throw one. You just need to make sure that you're still there. Adlantik still putting on his 4th goal in this 12-goal series. Sadly, not a thriller. This 3rd game has proven to be, but more goals. It's always a delightful scene. But Kash, and again, he's still going for no height, no power. We've been here before, and that's just what I'm talking about. That little bit of touching distance. He's now within 3. Wonder will Kash now feel a little bit of worry? Just listening into his mind, you can go. And hear the little voice. Just that little bit of panic might slip on in. Brings it to the side. This was waste about 5 seconds, and every other and stutter onto that wall just keeps on applying, and there's 30 seconds. That's the warning. Adlantik 3 goals, 10 seconds each second. Passes as a chance gone, but he has not had possession either in that bump and play. Bump wasn't really necessary. Adlantik was very much beaten before it even happened. Faced the wrong way. Tried to recover in the position. It's all too late. All so too late. 9-5. Group to double digits. Wonder how many players in the group stage will be facing that complexion. Some would say an embarrassment. Personally, if you're in a 5 goals apiece series, yes, it may be entertaining for the neutral. Not necessarily suggesting quality. Kash just restoring that distance effectively, and just let his opposition know that he hasn't been budged, he hasn't been moved. You have to come and play now. You're facing match point and one more goal at Flourish. Well, Adlantik no, doesn't keep it up, but Brian, Atlantik's chances are sinking fast. Can he hold on to it?
Kash has reached match point, but Adlantik has shown he can win. So he can hope to hold on for longer.
Game 4. Brian's already let you know how this series has gone. And so far it has not looked good. At least for Adlantik. The blonde bombshell maybe may be renamed as the blonde fizz bomb at this point. Or maybe the sparkler. Whatever it is, he hasn't exploded onto our screens the way he may have wanted. The dream slightly exploded to a nightmare, and that is certainly a tragedy by Kash. It could have at least sealed that deficit back down. Mind you, with 30 seconds, it's nothing to be afraid of. It is only 1. Told you, nothing to be afraid of. There wasn't even a moment that you sit there and worried about it. The moment that the boost grab was there, you can almost sense that the goal was occurring. Corner had to be soft, had to roll up, or at least ricocheted backwards where Kash was carrying the momentum too much. Those would have been the options. Likely none was selected, and this will be a quick tester. Seal the boost, gets the 50, should be able to repeat, but no defense, takes a shot. Not willing to tease any much longer, and frankly Adlantik might be in denial that he can get themselves back into that one. But his recovery was just not there either. And suddenly, a decent start of a 1-0. Easily how quickly it's turned to 2-1. He's up and around, second touch. Kash trying to cheat the angle and it wouldn't have worked, but the shot will hit the crossbar. Second time it's hitting that little region. He's stacking his options quite nicely. Their demo, or at least faking it, has forced Adlantik to at least respond, and he's gone the net. He's turtled effectively up, unfortunately. He's playing against almost the ninja turtle himself. It is Kash. Straight up, second ball, rattling around. It is Adlantik. Now has to play this one. We've seen him score similar shots to this like this before, and Kash just keeping it high up, it will do, and that snatch and grab technique that Adlantik's tried to show us will not be used in any form of teaching methods. It's a poor example of it in Adlantik. Decent 50 this time around. Now both of them will battle for possession and space. Adlantik has won both. Quick shot, facing the keeper's right way though, and will be a simple save, and this is an awkward scenario. Kash will just now collect the boost pads as Adlantik sets himself up. Nicely scored. Made for Adlantik every time he shoots, every time he flicks. There's a bit even in myself that's going, this isn't going to work. Even the crossbar was being generous to him tonight. The moment Kash was circling for boost, you knew it was either going to be one of three options, and certainly not the one he'd be pleased to see, but he won't be worrying. That was a beauty of a flick, and I don't know why Adlantik has this standard idea of just challenging on the same side and throwing himself to the ball. It's just absolutely pointless. Have to be aware when you're shadowing, when the challenge has to occur. The understanding is out of the window. It really is instinct kicking in and just desperation. Adlantik fires one in. But realistically, Kash should have saved this one. Kash actually went the wrong way, but still even. It's a pretty good chance. 3 apiece. Oh, Kash saying tactical. He's well aware of what he's at least trying to do, or at least trying to cover it up. But Kash, can he expose the net this time around? And double, it's unfortunately landed on Adlantik's head. Let's hope he can clean it up into a shot. Nice little hook, small teasing shot. On the right side off it. Again, Kash is still going for it. He's trying to end with a flurry. But it has not worked once for him so far. Why will it work now? And this is such a disappointing performance, and the casual speaking to each other. Somewhat refreshing. A little bit of needle doesn't necessarily hurt. Adlantik will have to go up onto the wall, straight round. But reset, he has to play this quick, he has to drop, and he's near enough done it. Good read by him. Fortunately not feeling it at the moment. Adlantik straight into the shot opportunity. He has now to scoop this one in. Going for the flick, the drop would have been safe for the demo, much now better. 4 apiece. We've seen how this series has battled 5-3, 3-4 and 10-5. Much closer in terms of the paper. And the docket has both of them and slightly favours Kash. 1 minute 16 now. Still enough time for either of the two to lose the footing, lose their concentration. And Kash not willing to let this one go, and Adlantik send it high. It was straight at him, and he's near enough time to get that one away. And Kash was either toying with the shot or fake, and he went for the shot. It's a wonderful setup, and Adlantik near enough read that one. If that went in, we would have been talking about a different series. The complexion now, 5-4, favours Kash. "47 seconds left. Oh, Adlantik, you have dug a hole now. Can you find the spade and dig yourself out of it?" He's got the block, but it will be Kash. Just move it into the corners. Typical now play coming through. Hit it with speed, hit it on counter. So obvious, and Kash not willing to give an inch this time around. 6-4. We saw how relaxed he was, especially when he built a lead. Potentially maybe one of the best front runners when he has got it. But can he hold it when it matters most for him? Adlantik, this point here, should be off the leash. He should be just throwing everything he's at it. Quick little shots, no boost, and a mildly pathetic attempt, and he's just caught himself up the post, and Kash is toyed with them in his own box. Oh, this is cruel. The air dribble just wasting time. Oh, this is just cruelty. This is just cruel. 7-4. 4 seconds left. It won't be enough. Even 3 kick-off goals at a second apiece would be pushing the envelope. If it was addressed to Luck Street, maybe. But sadly, all out of luck, all out of skill, and more importantly, all out of time, Adlantik loses the series 3-1, and that, Brian, is a display of Kash's ability, potentially RRs in the future. Well, will he go on further in our tournament? Well, let's see.
It indeed is Kash who proves his worth most of all today, but Adlantik hasn't lost all hope yet. Apparently Jack might be worried to see his upcoming opponent in the first qualifier match. Kash has shown strength today. For Adlantik, the path to qualification has not grown any easier, and he needs 2 wins in a row to advance. That is it for today though. Thanks for watching, and join us next time as we move to another stage in the groups. I will see you again. I am your host and friend, Brian.
Game 4. Brian's already let you know how this series has gone. And so far it has not looked good. At least for Adlantik. The blonde bombshell maybe may be renamed as the blonde fizz bomb at this point. Or maybe the sparkler. Whatever it is, he hasn't exploded onto our screens the way he may have wanted. The dream slightly exploded to a nightmare, and that is certainly a tragedy by Kash. It could have at least sealed that deficit back down. Mind you, with 30 seconds, it's nothing to be afraid of. It is only 1. Told you, nothing to be afraid of. There wasn't even a moment that you sit there and worried about it. The moment that the boost grab was there, you can almost sense that the goal was occurring. Corner had to be soft, had to roll up. Or at least ricocheted backwards where Kash was carrying the momentum too much. Those would have been the options. Likely none was selected, and this will be a quick tester. Seal the boost, gets the 50, should be able to repeat, but no defence, takes a shot. Not willing to tease any much longer, and frankly Adlantik might be in denial that he can get themselves back into that one. But his recovery was just not there either. And suddenly, a decent start of a 1-0. And easily how quickly it's turned to 2-1. He's up and around, second touch. Kash trying to cheat the angle and it wouldn't have worked, but the shot will hit the crossbar. Second time, it's hitting the little region. He's stacking his options quite nicely. Another demo, or at least faking it, has forced Adlantik to at least respond, and he's gone the net. He's turtled the factly up, unfortunately. He's playing against almost the Ninja Turtle himself. It is Kash. Straight up, second ball, rattling around. It is Adlantik. Now has to play this one. We've seen him score similar shots to this like this before, and Kash just keeping it high up, it will do, and that snatch and grab technique that Adlantik's tried to show us will not be used in any form of teaching methods. It's a poor example of it, and Adlantik decent 50 this time around. Now both of them will battle for possession and space. Adlantik has won both. Quick shot, facing the keeper's right way though, and will be a simple save, and this is an awkward scenario. Kash will just now collect the boost pads as Adlantik sets himself up. Nicely scored. To be fair, Adlantik, every time he shoots, every time he flicks, there's a bit even in myself that's going, this isn't going to work. Even the crossbar was being generous to him tonight. The moment Kash was circling for boost, you knew it was either going to be one of three options, and certainly not the one he'd be pleased to see, but he won't be worrying. That was a beauty of a flick, and I don't know why Adlantik has this standard idea of just challenging on the same side and throwing himself to the ball. It's just absolutely pointless. Have to be aware when you're shadowing, when the challenge has to occur. The understanding is out of the window. It really is instinct kicking in and just desperation. Adlantik fires one in. But realistically, Kash should have saved this one. Kash actually went the wrong way, but still even. It's a pretty good chance. 3 apiece. Oh, Kash saying tactical. He's well aware of what he's at least trying to do, or at least trying to cover it up. But Kash, can he expose the net this time around? And double, it's unfortunately landed on Adlantik's head. Let's hope he can clean it up into a shot. Nice little hook, small teasing shot. On the right side off it. Again, Kash is still going for it. He's trying to end with a flurry. But it has not worked once for him so far. Why will it work now? And this is such a disappointing performance, and the casual speaking to each other. Somewhat refreshing. A little bit of needle doesn't necessarily hurt. Adlantik will have to go up onto the wall, straight round. But reset, he has to play this quick, he has to drop, and he's near enough done it. Good read by him. Fortunately not feeling it at the moment. Adlantik straight into the shot opportunity. He has now to scoop this one in. Going for the flick. The drop would have been safe for the demo. Much now better. 4 apiece. We've seen how this series has battled 5-3, 3-4 and 10-5. Much closer in terms of the paper. And the docket has both of them and slightly favours Kash. 1 minute 16 now. Still enough time for either of the two to lose the footing, lose their concentration. And Kash not willing to let this one go, and Adlantik send it high. It was straight at him, and he's near enough time to get that one away. And Kash was either toying with the shot or fake, and he went for the shot. It's a wonderful setup, and Adlantik near enough read that one. If that went in, we would have been talking about a different series. The complexion, no. 5-4 favours Kash. "47 seconds left. Oh, Adlantik, you have dug a hole now. Can you find the spade and dig yourself out of it?" He's got the block, but it will be Kash. Just move it into the corners. Typical now play coming through. Hit it with speed, hit it on counter. So obvious, and Kash not willing to give an inch this time around. 6-4. We saw how relaxed he was, especially when he built a lead. Potentially maybe one of the best front runners when he has got it. But can he hold it when it matters most for him? Adlantik, this point here, should be off the leash. He should be just throwing everything he's at it. Quick little shots, no boost, and a mildly pathetic attempt, and he's just caught himself up the post, and Kash is toyed with them in his own box. Oh, this is cruel. The air dribble just wasting time. Oh, this is just cruelty. This is just cruel. 7-4. 4 seconds left. It won't be enough. Even 3 kick-off goals at a second apiece would be pushing the envelope. If it was addressed to Luck Street, maybe. But sadly, all out of luck, all out of skill, and more importantly, all out of time, Adlantik loses the series 3-1, and that, Brian, is a display of Kash's ability, potentially RRs in the future. But will he go on further in our tournament? Well, let's see.
It indeed is Kash who proves his worth most of all today, but Adlantik hasn't lost all hope yet. Apparently Jack might be worried to see his upcoming opponent in the first qualifier match. Kash has shown strength today. For Adlantik, the path to qualification has not grown any easier, and he needs 2 wins in a row to advance. That is it for today though. Thanks for watching, and join us next time as we move to another stage in the groups. I will see you again. I am your host and friend, Brian.